A good level. Mentioned earlier those runs he's had
180
at the Lakeside. Twice a semi-finalist. And he's
59.
levelled the maximum count in this one. Can he get his game back on track?
85.
These are the shots that really sting. You think the leg is yours, and it might still be now. But you do get the feeling
95.
that Smith is in a somewhat relaxed, creative mood. He's doing things that you wouldn't normally associate even with him.
Game shot.
He's now only one in front.
Yeah, very important dart in the double five there from Richard Veenstra. A 6-1 win for him, 103.66. Wow, Michael Smith is going to make him have to hit. And that trend of 180s on throw continues. That's 6 between them now. All 3 for each
41.
player coming on throw in the last 6 legs.
If you want a result, how about this one? It's another 100+ average. Every single person who's through so far
100
has averaged in 3 figures. But it's not Ross Smith because the number 12 seed is gone at the hands of Connor Scott, who's almost
59.
disappeared over the last 12 months. But that's a great confidence-boosting win for Connor.
Yeah, well, we were talking about that Lakeside campaign of Veenstra, and going
93.
into that, Connor Scott was one of the heavily tipped players. Never really materialised for him there or as a PDC Tour card holder.
180.
Can't describe that as too little, but is it too late from Richard Veenstra?
He has strayed into that 5 a few times in this match. He's just got to be wary of
54.
that. Veenstra could pressurise, but he's going to have to dodge bullets.
85.
I'm not sure that's good enough, because when Michael Smith is on this, he usually takes care of business.
Tops to do just that.
Game shot
and
and
Michael
match.
Smith has indeed taken care of business. He's taken care of Richard Veenstra there in a really good game. 7 180s, 4 of them went the way.
It's on stream 4 today. That's one of our non-commentary boards. And he's currently sitting in 14th of 16 qualifiers.
140.
That's good pressure from Mika, leading the match 3-0 and then putting himself on a similar finish to his opponent after a dozen darts. And this is tricky. This is tricky.
60.
And Mika will get the opportunity to widen the gap even further.
First, he looked at the 60, then he didn't. Then he did again.
It's become so unfashionable to go for the bullseye on those shots, hasn't it?
This is why. That's
Game
brilliant from Ryan. That's a real gut punch to Andy Bolton.
Well, this would be out of nowhere, wouldn't it, for Ryan Meikle? Has struggled for the last 5 legs of this match, and now he's in the wrong bed.
74.
That last start was a bit of a white flag.
69. Sorry.
Just flung it away in disgust at the thought of losing 5 straight legs.
Game shot.
And that has happened, and it always feels worse when your opponent gets it on the 3rd dart.
5 on the spin for Andy Bolton.
We will have the bottom half of the fixtures on this board, starting with Kim Huybrechts and Bradley Brooks, which
140.
could be quite fiery in a week where Belgium will again play in the World Cup with Huybrechts in the team, which means he's definitely going to be pumped up, believe me.
Well, this one could be about to come to an end.
37.
Andy Bolton gave himself all sorts of work to do when Meikle won the first 4 legs of it. But the man nicknamed the X Factor has hit all the right notes since.
52.
And now tees up double 16 to turn it around with 6 straight.
He seems to have had the it factor, that's for sure. And it in this game has been patience.
21.
He has had a few darts on the floor, and I suppose you have to say they've cost him.
Yeah, another one bites the dust in terms of darts, and it looks like Ryan Meikle,
Game shot and
he's
the match.
exiting stage left. After the X Factor, Andy Bolton completes a total tungsten turnaround, a 6-4 success from 4 legs down.
It's like that happened. That is the done thing. That is the etiquette of the game and the spirit of the game at its best.
56.
Funnily enough, Bradley Brooks' best finish in that World Championship match with Willie Borland was 134, which he hit on 2 treble 17s and double 16, and that was to save the match.
94.
Another break. It should be. And it is.
Game shot.
So it's 3-3 in the score and 2-2 in the breaks. Then after that we will have our second round match from this board, which will be Andy Bolton and Michael Smith.
97.
I think the biggest result of the day so far is, without question, Christian Perez beating Rob Cross.
59.
That win will be felt all the way over to the Philippines because they've been waiting months for him to make his Players' Championship debut, and it's been a good one.
140.
Might want to give Bradley a bit of a wide berth if he was to succumb in this game, because anybody who gets the amount of breaks of throw that he's had,
180.
you expect to win. Match dart at the bull.
Game shot and
There
the
it
match.
is. It's a hold of throw. I think Kim Huybrechts understands that that game was just a little bit strange, but ultimately Kim does win the match, and it's a huge win for his race for the match play as well. It's a very dangerous mindset to get yourself into. You still, no matter what your
94.
form, have to turn up thinking, I can win this tournament. And the only way you're going to do that is to compartmentalise
100.
everything into one game at a time. I know it's a cliche, but you do not win a final in round 1.
57.
Should stay there, really. Decides not to,
Game shot.
and he knows best for 5-2. That's the second double-double finish you've seen on this board today, after the no messing around, no inviting your opponent in, give them no hope.
90.
A good use of the board there from Keegan. And Mull uses the lesser known route for 95. And after missing the
52.
bull, you fancy maybe that he's gone. And he is gone. Keegan just too good on this occasion. And exactly. Played me perfectly. I tip my hat to him now, but not at the time.
And I bet it cost Mark Hilton absolutely
97.
nothing to get over there. Just probably got a comp from the airline as well.
Probably.
Mile High, the cabin crew manager.
That was his best ever run. The final of that tournament.
135.
Did big things for him as well. Allowed him to get into things like the Grand Prix, World Championship, and the following year he made the quarterfinals of the UK Open.
Well, Michael Smith,
78.
you would think we'll be looking at the 20s. Staying there. Double 5
Game
is
shot.
there. Michael Smith, well, the only darts at double he's been missing is the one when he tried to hit it on a setup shot.
That's what we'll have for Team Czech. 62 left. And a missed single from the world champion.
57. 41.
You can only say that's careless, but in every likelihood he is going to get a look at tops. Does he? I don't know. I still don't know. Michael Smith was nodding his head in the background saying, I'm not going to get a look at tops, but he is.
Well, it would have been a brutal punishment of the missed big number there from Michael Smith. He's been very good on tops in this game. and continues to be so. He pins it again. It's a 13 darter. It's a great leg of darts, but it's one where there was an element of jeopardy.
Share a room with him. I was assured for it. I was fine. And he made the match play on the very last day. And I said to him at the end, congratulations, James. Now maybe you'll stop talking about the race to the match
59.
play.
Well, in the second round so far, we've only seen 2 of the top seeds win. That's Danny Noppert and Gerwyn Price. A whole bunch of them have been
139.
defeated. Michael Smith is the number 9 seed here today. And there is no guarantee that he's making it through this. He will get a chance to win it with this 78 checkout.
82.
But if he cannot take it, Andy Bolton is right on his shoulder. 20 for tops. He's been so good at the... OK, double 10. Oh, brilliant stuff from Michael Smith. Well, he did miss a match start at double 6, but he very, very rarely missed double top in that game. In fact, I think he might have hit it every single time he went for it to win a leg, and he even hit it accidentally and took out a double-double finish. Leaves a horrible-looking 139. And Keegan, from the 170, gets down to 36, just as he did in the first leg. But in the first leg, Kim Huybrechts shut the door and didn't allow him back to the board. This time, he can do nothing to stop him.
69.
Yes.
Oh, quite a nice setup in the end.
No.
Leave himself the same double.
103. Sorry.
It's an unconventional setup, but it works. Worries the wire.
Game shot.
And manages to use those darts to open up a 3-leg gap. And Kim Huybrechts is in real looking
2.
to bolster his challenge.
100.
So Keegan Brown, 2 visits from here. Well, he gets rid of the 26. That gets rid of another 60, so he's going to get match darts at double top to beat Kim Huybrechts for the 5th time in his career. Saw off Damien Mole
54.
in the opening round. And he
Game
sees
shot
off
and
Kim Huybrechts in round 2. Keegan Brown deals with Kim just as he has done many, many times before. Not going to happen.
82.
One dart at tops, not enough for Keegan Brown. Michael Smith will get 2 darts at tops from here.
Game shot.
And he only needs the 1 because he continues to be absolutely deadly at the top of the board. And if that continues, he is going to be very, very difficult to stop today. Stephen Burton, all of these players going into the last 16. James Wade is 5-2 up on Danny Noppert. If Wade wins that and Michael Smith gets 1 more leg, it will be the Bully Boy versus the Machine for a spot in the quarterfinals.
140.
And it does look like the Bully Boy is going to win this one. Keegan Brown has looked a lot more likely in the last couple of legs, but not likely enough against
100.
a clinical Michael Smith, who leaves himself on double top for the match. And there's only one outcome today, when Michael Smith is looking at double top to win a leg.
44.
Of course, now that I've said that, it might not happen. He's missed it by a yard. But he tidies it up on double 10. Michael Smith, another breeze of a performance from him. But he is winning a lot of games.
Yeah, well, he rocked up to Minot as the number 1 seed, didn't he, for the Players' Championship finals? Didn't work out for him when he got
57.
there, but the work in getting there, he was the best on the floor.
He was pretty good on the Euro Tour stages as well.
174.
Neil Zonneveld on a potential 11 darter.
Yeah, hasn't let that big missed opportunity, those 2 darts at double 14 in the previous leg, affect him.
100.
Just affecting what he can and responding to it in the best possible way. Single 14, leaves tops. Fabulous, fabulous leg of darts from the Dutchman. 11 darter to tie up this game at 3-3. And that run from Tricot suddenly makes France look a force, doesn't it?
Yeah, although no Jacques Labre here today,
94.
which was interesting. Now, Damon Heta, a chance. Can he find his way through to the 57? He's not moving, so he could see it, but I don't think he's found it. He hasn't.
58.
Treble 18 will be the first port of call. The bull
61.
not quite there, so this is an opportunity for Heta.
Problem, 13 segment. It's only one at the bull. It should have been a better chance. Won't matter if he can pin it. Which he
Game
can.
shot.
Damon Heta pins the bullseye for the first breaker throw in this one, and it might be the pivotal moment in this contest.
Yeah.
Here, but he's going to start upstairs. He cannot miss left or right. Well, treble 18 and tops would have completed the victory, but that's not the case. And Neil Zonneveld has got a chance to break straight back
57.
and make this a lot more difficult.
One dart, and he has to pick a side.
60.
Could not quite work his way through the barricade, and Damon Heta may instead work his way through to the quarterfinals. Heta hits.
Game shot and the match.
He is there. Damon Heta continues his good form. A solid fight from the Dutchman Niels Zonneveld, but it is the Australian who heads through to face Gerwin Price.
Well, welcome to exciting territory. Chris Dobie is not what you would call an
131.
enormous 9-dart hitter. In fact, he's only ever hit one. And he's not going to add to it here.
Well, I remember a match between Anderson and Van
65.
Gerwen. When Van Gerwen was on a 9-darter in the Premier League. Then Anderson reeled in the big fish. It was madness. Oh,
145.
almost repeating the same crazy feat.
But it is a chance for a break. And it's a
36.
chance that Chris Dobie doesn't quite take. He is a whisker away. Now, Anderson nowadays tends to go 9-8. And that is the route.
Game
He
shot.
takes it out expertly. Dawn, it looks like it might be a false one.
Yeah, Anderson might need to strengthen those back muscles to carry Peter Wright through the World Cup of Darts. 6-0
100.
defeat at the hands of Stephen Burton for him today. Anderson here looking to open up some daylight. Treble 18 would leave the double in that same portion. Anderson
92.
can't quite help himself to the slice.
Well, he missed tops for the 118. He's missed double 18 for the 110, both to break Dobie's throw. Double 5. And
Game shot.
they cannot be separated. It is very, very tight. It is very, very even. There have been little opportunities.
It's a 4-2 up on Price.
There is a chance here. And look, it's less of a chance than earlier on with Michael Smith having taken the lead. But the
77.
semi-finals could consist of an American, a Filipino, an Australian, and one of these two.
140.
Good darts from Chris Dobie, and he's left another one treble combo finish.
Anderson might leave the same one. Well, he's going to come away now because he's blocked that bed. Or has he changed his mind again? No, he does go
57.
down.
I think he might have been looking at the 19s and then realised it would have left a bogey number.
Dobie will look at the 19s, finds it, gets a go at the ball if he wants to go for it.
Game
Of
shot.
course he does. Slams in the 127 and does that satisfying walk back down the hockey to say, I've just broken. That's what
180.
Dr. Dawson ordered. But Dobie, of course, can render it irrelevant anyway. Treble or single? Single it is for the bull.
The maximum forced him to go this route. and he
65.
cannot find the bullseye. And Gary Anderson, if he clears 290 points in 2 visits to the board, he'll have the darts in the last leg decider. And it will not happen because the first dart sees the chance evaporate. And Chris Dobie is still not done yet. And because he was forced to go
38.
for the bull, this is trickier than it might have been.
2 darts at double 8. Needs both and needs to move.
Ninth
Dobie
scored.
is still not over the line. Anderson returns to the hockey.
He probably didn't think he'd get this chance. But he's got 1 at tops. And it's a level game, and Gary Anderson is still alive. He survived 3 match darts in this one. We are going to a last leg decider.
Well, it's a game that Anderson did, and that's why he's still in this, and he could be walking away with the top prize at the end of the tournament.
100.
Oh, he surely should have gone for the bullseye there. A 25 would have got him to a finish.
Dobie is thinking about the numbers. He went over there
92.
to make sure he left something handy. Anderson, it might not matter because he might leave something so small.
140.
And when on Dobie's on something so big, he may be okay. And he will return with 3 clear at double 16 to pinch this match
56.
at the end.
He won last time we were here in Hildesheim, Gary Anderson.
Game shot
And
in
he
the
is
match.
still
Gary
in the
Anderson.
hunt for the title today. He survives 3 match darts from Chris Dobie to sneak through 6 legs to 5. Nobody has pushed Gary Anderson that close so far today.
Against a former champion of that tournament and indeed a former champion of the world, Gary Anderson.
96.
Anderson, who
119.
mastered one of his previous apprentices, Chris Dobie, on this streaming board not so long
40.
ago.
$42.
Might want to master another one in the final, but first of all, Michael Smith has
84.
to get there. After this fabulous run from Connor Scott, will it end against the bully boy?
93.
Scott looking to take the first leg on tops.
14.
Doesn't manage to do so. Eight for tops now then for Michael Smith. And he can't find the target
44.
either, so a chance returns for Connor Scott.
Game shot.
And he lands double 10, hoisting Bully Boy by his own petard. If he were to go and win this tournament, it would be the 10th he's won on the Players' Championship alone.
92. $96.
Feel he needs this.
32.
Michael Smith wasn't watching, but he will have heard the call and it'll be music to his ears.
Game shot.
And now he has
$140. Yes.
so 4-2
34.
Anderson, 5-2 Smith. Looks like a collision course. However, Connor Scott still has something to
140.
say.
Game shot.
Although
100.
And it's Scott who gets the 180 in the leg, and he might get a 161 to go with it.
97. $100. 44. Sorry. Game shot.
And that is the end of it. Michael Smith finally gets the job done. Position. He's left an awkward double. Threatening the Anderson throw, but might need to hit the
60.
rarely visited double 3 here to do that.
Some players don't like going for these odd number doubles. I don't think Michael Smith cares.
Three
But he
score.
might pay the price for that. And I'm not just talking about the fact that Anderson's got a shot at 152. It's the awkward 3 that he's left.
Might take it out. I'm just going to go back to the 132 shot in the first place, Paul. The first start at treble 20 left him 72.
85.
If he just had 72, would he have gone for a treble 20?
No.
Which begs the question, why did he decide to stay there, particularly when Anderson wasn't on a finish?
1.
'Cause that was the start of the cause of all these problems.
Absolutely right. I have never in my career as a commentator questioned the board management of Michael Smith, but unfortunately we have to in this case.
What's Anderson done here? Question that management as well.
Oh, he's left double 15.
Well, that is much more questionable than anything Smith's done. He's worked it out in the end,
37.
but again, he's the master, the architect of his own downfall there. Silly stuff from Gary Anderson, a bit of a
Who's
brain
gone?
freeze, and now he's on an awkward double as well. What nonsense in the third leg of this final.
I think they're both seeing the funny side of it, but I guarantee you if it was 7-7 that wouldn't be. Got to go high.
Game shot.
And it is a very strange 23 dart leg for Gary, but it does give him the lead.
And Michael Smith offered him the fist pump as well.
And rely on his doubling a little bit more. His current form with this equipment does not lie.
60.
Heading to the World Cup, a tournament he's played in and hasn't played in years in the past, but he's backing himself, playing in everything at the
96.
moment. Euro Tour included. Playing with Peter Wright, one of the 4 teams already in the last 16 as one of the top 4 seeds.
Do you know what I think the biggest thing is
134.
about the World Cup coming up? And I've said this to a few people recently, and everybody I say it to agrees with me.
140.
It's great having pairs all the way through, but the biggest thing is that at the end of the tournament, every player in the final will be on the
96.
stage when the final shot is hit. That is what makes that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what can Anderson make of this moment? 5 then for tops to go 4-1 up on Michael
Game shot.
Smith. You know, this would be his 33rd floor title if he gets over the line.
46.
He's got 6 darts from 161. And he's bossing this game all of a sudden.
137.
Ever since that crazy early leg, it seems like Gary has kicked on, whereas Michael has not been able to.
92.
Well, this is a double that he won each of his world
Game
titles
shot.
on, and he hits it to lead 5-1 in this one.
And sometimes we talk about...
Champion.
Exactly. Beat Dave Chisnell in a UK Open qualifier.
Well, that does take his tally to 20 for the day.
140.
When did Gary win his first floor title in the PDC? Because he joined in 2009.
100.
Well, 2009 then, Paul.
There you go.
It was 2009 Players' Championship 14 in Newport. As Anderson looks at the ball,
96.
beat Mervyn King in the final.
Can't be many people who have won a Players' Championship in Wales. I know Jamie Caven has. Double 14, and it's
Game
massive.
shot.
He's now within 1, a very different final. The complexity has been altered. He told me once what he was doing. 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, and 3 hours at night. 9 hours a day. And I believe him.
Yes. 65.
Might need something supersized here to stop Anderson getting away again. And he's not going to take it. So the Scotsman with an opportunity to once again open
52.
up some daylight, but this time right at the key point of the match. That's a bit of luck for Michael Smith. It means that Anderson will only get one dart double.
Just about.
61.
But it could be 6-6 now. Just watch out if he misses the 57. But he doesn't.
Game
And doesn't miss
shot.
the tops either. It's now best of 3.
A fabulous final here.
Sport that this is the ideal time
And
to break your opponent.
And it would be the first time that he's led the match. Well, he
32.
surely did not intend to go there. But Anderson isn't on a finish.
Little bit of peacockery there from Gary
150.
Anderson. It's brilliant. It's absolutely sensational. But he could lose the leg.
Has it ruffled Smith's feathers a little bit?
24.
Has Anderson's antics with the 3 brilliant bullseyes just cost concentration
Game shot.
from Michael Smith and ended up actually helping Gary Anderson win the leg? Well, he's not happy about something here, Gary Anderson. You can see him just having a word with...
Into a finish.
80.
And it could be Michael Smith.
Is he going to nick it at the end?
105.
Sensibly takes the bullseye out of the equation for the next shot.
Here comes the pressure.
100.
He was not expecting to leave 106. He thought it was going to be much less. But this is to win his first Players' Championship title in a year.
And he
Game
does it
shot and the
on
championship.
top to finally, in the end, get on top of Gary Anderson, who still doesn't look happy about something there. But he has reached another final. Another good run for him, though it is Bully Boy, the world champion, the world #1, who takes the bounty, who wins the prize.